The energetic beats of African drumming. They might not be what you listen to when you want to relax, but what about playing them? With mental health issues on the rise, researchers are looking for new alternatives to medication or traditional talking therapies, and evidence is mounting that we should start making music to treat the mind. Group drumming is one in particular that's shown potential. So I'm here at a mental health group drumming drop-in at St Barnabas Church in Epsom to find out more.
I might give you another chair.
Just before everyone grabs a seat in the main hall, which is a lovely warm and welcoming space with the evening sun streaming through the stained glass windows, I ask Ray, the group session leader, how he ended up using group drumming as a therapeutic intervention.
So basically I realised that there'd been this massive shift in the way people behaved towards each other. People had lost kind of contact and touch with each other. I noticed people were under enormous stress and enormous strain, and then a member of a team close by to who I worked with committed suicide, and then another good friend of mine died in a toilet, basically lay undiscovered for about 6 hours. So basically I decided I needed to change and shift myself. But what I also realised, being a drummer since the age of 7, I always felt good drumming, and also noticed that when drumming with other people, people actually really got the fact that drumming was really good for them. They really enjoyed the experience, enjoyed what they were doing. And there's been a gradual progression over the last few years of bringing these two ideas together, in bringing drumming into the psychotherapeutic atmosphere or environment and taking it out to people.
Ray's certainly not alone in his experiences, and yet the feeling of being on your own and isolated from others can be one of the major triggering factors for mental health issues, which is why Ray thinks that group drumming is a good way to help.
There's a massive shift, or has been a massive shift in the last 20 or 30 years away from community and relationships into individuality and people struggling and surviving on their own, and people being measured by what they have, what they do, what they possess, rather than actually who they are. There's a great saying that we've become human doings rather than human beings. We've forgotten how to be, we have become do. And I think what that does, that's exacerbated mental health problems. It's exacerbated the fact that people feel isolated on their own. And I think what's really, really important is, which drives a lot of what I do, is it's the relationship. And being a counsellor and being a psychotherapist, I really believe it's the relationship that heals. And basically by doing these kind of activities, by creating communities, by bringing people together, even just using the drum, it creates relationships, it creates community, it creates bonding, it takes people out of themselves, it takes them away from pressure and stress, just for in that short time that we're together.
What's more, Ray says that there's a growing body of research that backs up the idea that group drumming can be really beneficial for mental health.
My name is Aaron Williman. I'm Professor of Performance Science at the Royal College of Music, and I'm also Director of the Centre for Performance Science, which is a partnership between the Royal College of Music and Imperial College London.
Professor Williman and his team recently performed a study called Making Music for Mental Health to investigate the effects of drumming on the mind. To do this, the researchers took psychological measurements of participants suffering from mental health issues attending a 10-week group drumming course. By taking measurements before and after the sessions, as well as taking follow-up measurements 3 months after, they found sustained significant decreases in levels of depression and anxiety amongst their participants. And Professor Williman explained that they also saw improvements in positive aspects too.
In terms of the benefits that our participants were seeing from drumming, the effects were spanning a number of different categories. The first thing to say is people had experiences of pleasure. They enjoyed the drumming, and it gave them an activity that they could come back to on a regular basis, week in and week out. We also saw that by learning to drum, there was a sense of accomplishment, and also a sense of self-satisfaction in being able to do something new. So the act of learning was important for them. They also were engaging more, not just with the music, but with other people. So many of the people that we had interviewed felt a sense of being able to come into a group to engage immediately through music without having to talk. They didn't have to formulate a sentence and appear to be articulate and have to win people over. They just got stuck straight in. So the drumming was a way of social interaction and communication that was then open to them.
So, the science backs up Ray's experience, and meanwhile in Epsom, the group drumming session has got into full swing.
1, 2, make up your own band.
really looks as if everyone's having a great time. There's about 10 people here, men and women of all different ages, from about 18 to 80, and they're sat together in a circle following Ray's very energetic instructions. They're all laughing and smiling, and I've got to admit, even watching them has made me feel pretty happy too. So at the end, I'm going to ask one of the participants, Alan, what he thought of the session. How are you feeling after the session?
I feel quite invigorated, actually. I've spent a lot of time doing these sessions with Ray, and it's 45 minutes of just exploring your emotions and senses and making noise or sound, or some people would say music. But I feel cool. I feel really good. And
do you like being in the group?
Yeah, I love being in the group. This group on a Monday has been a safe haven for me for over five years, and I experienced quite severe mental health problems, and this place has become like a second family. So to be able to come along and do something that you enjoy with a bunch of people that you enjoy being with, it's kind of like a bonus, more places should try this kind of therapy, I think. It's a really different way to explore how you're feeling.
So you found it quite important to help with all your mental health issues?
Yeah, definitely. I've tried numerous therapies and drumming workshops. For me, just a really different way to explore your feelings, your emotions, your state of mind, other than seeing a doctor or taking medication, or it's just something really, really different that I would highly recommend that people look at, because it's such good fun.
Alan's right. More than anything, Ray's session in Epsom just looked like really great fun. And so maybe it's time for more of us to start banging the drum for mental health.